2, 1.
Good evening. My name is Tom Kendall, and this is the meeting of the Finance Committee. This is June the 3rd, and it's 6:07 in the evening. To my left is Mr. Swayzer, member of the committee. To my right, Mr. Sievert, also member of the committee. We have one item to come before Finance this evening, and
Mr. Davis.
Oh, and Mr. Davis will be briefing us.
Thank you. As stated, this is a recommendation to bid, an authorization to bid the fleet maintenance program. Since 2012, the city has contracted out for this work. We have contracted with what was Troy Ford, it's now Arbogast Ford, and that contract that we currently have will expire in December of 2019, so later this year. To give you an idea, we are going to ask for an authorization of $400,000 in 2018. The cost of the contract was $283,000. The reason we asked for $400,000 is because this would be in the event. This would be in place of a major event of repairs are needed. We usually throw that in there. The contract term we recommend is 3 years with up to 2 1-year mutually agreed upon extensions. And when as we normally do when we bid, we ask to authorize bidding out of projects. We look at what the cost to do that in-house would be. To do that, we went back to 2012. The cost to run the program back then was $604,000. We took that and then we converted that into 2019 dollars, which led us to $673,000. That would be the amount over the last 5 years. The average contract amount was only $310,000. In addition to the $673,000, that does not include the purchase of the equipment we would need to have since we no longer hold that equipment. We would need to make improvements to retrofit the maintenance facility. We would need to buy lifts, create extra space for that. So there's quite a bit of cost that would go into that to bring it back in-house. So that is why we are asking for the authorization to bid this out once again.
Okay. All right. Now, when would you plan on going out for bid on this soon, or?
We would have to advertise in the paper after the authorization was received. I would assume it would be in July, end of July, early August, when the bid would be opened.
Okay. How many bid last time? Do we know?
Last time I think we had 5 bids. 3 were complete bids.
Okay. Okay.
I have no questions.
I don't have any questions. It's pretty straightforward.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else?
I have a question. Has there been any thought or consideration, possibly in the future, of working with other communities to possibly have like a joint operation, a joint garage, something like that?
I know we looked at that. I wouldn't say we looked at it for the fleet maintenance program. We did for recycling, not this time. The last time we bid that out, I think it was trash collection and recycling. We tried to do a joint venture with the city of Piqua, but there's just too many differences to compensate for that.
All right.
In addition to that, because of the distance,
Okay.
our fleet and equipment would be out of service that much longer, having to truck it back and forth.
All right.
We did look at that prior to. In 2012, when we made this initial recommendation, part of the concern is that we were looking at some significant upgrades to equipment, lifts, diagnostic machines that were out of date and at end of useful life. So part of the analysis that we did was to look at TIP and Piqua and see if there's some kind of partnership, but it just didn't work out logistically and for other reasons.
Okay.
If I recall, we visited with the city of Sydney as well to see how they ran their in-house program.
This is strictly motor vehicles, so right? We're not talking about forklifts or mowers at the cemetery.
Yeah, majority of it is. They might every now and then get something that we couldn't repair that we would take out for a specialty repair, but motor vehicles is 90% of it.
But it does include some of the specialty vehicles as well. And we will farm those out. It does not mean that Troy Ford or Arbogast Ford would necessarily be doing the work. They would just manage it for us. And if we've got a special mechanic that we want them to go to, then that's where they will go. It will go to because it's a specialized piece of equipment or vehicle.
Fire department especially.
And the bid's open to anybody that would qualify for the bid.
Absolutely.
And then you make the decision?
It's actually I always forget what the three of us.
Services in there.
Yeah, me, and the mayor. So that's what it amounts to.
Okay.
Whatever the contract committee is called statutorily.
It's on, thanks.
You know, all right, Todd, how do you vote?
Let's move forward.
let's move forward.
Okay. Unanimous, move forward.
Right, thank you.
Anything else come before finance? Meeting